What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, and we're going to be readdressing the relative strength index, and we're going to be looking at this descending wedge pattern that has been forming now for the past few weeks. Um, and we are on the verge of potentially breaking that wedge pattern. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So, we're looking at Bitcoin here on the 4 hour chart, and you can see I have this descending wedge drawn out. And actually, this sort of pattern is forming on a lot of other cryptocurrencies, simply because a lot of the other cryptocurrencies are kind of following the same behavior that Bitcoin is. So there's definitely there's patterns that are similar in Cardano. You can see here I have a descending wedge, um, and even in I think Litecoin is kind of somewhat forming that. It's more of a channel rather than a wedge. But specifically for Bitcoin, you can see here I have this descending wedge drawn out, and that's starting back in mid-May. If you look here, we zoom in here closely on the 4 hourly, you can see that we actually broke it here this morning at 8 a.m. We've come back, tested this top line of the wedge as support, which we hit, and now we're kind of just riding this line. So it's a matter at this point, are we going to continue and break the top line of resistance? And I just want to show you something before we zoom out a little bit, just what the falling wedge actually means. And you can see here from this article, this is from stockcharts.com, regardless of the type reversal or continuation, falling wedges are regarded as bullish patterns. And you can see here this little chart showing how when you have a falling wedge, that when you get that break, you can see um, you know pushes to the upside. So that's kind of what we got here. If you zoom out here on the daily, you can see we got a falling wedge. We got descending prices, and then we have a more lateral support line for our lows. And ultimately, it's either going to break to the upside or to the downside. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a reversal, but more likely than not, you're going to break to the upside. And I was saying in previous videos that when you have this break to the upside, even though we've broken out of this wedge pattern, we're still going to hit a lot of resistance on the way back up. So there's still going to be a lot before we see anything crazy happen with the Bitcoin price. But overall, it looks like a reversal is in play. Now if we zoom in here on this daily, you can see that the candle is fighting with the the top resistance line of this wedge pattern. It'll be interesting to see where this ultimately closes at the end of the day, which we have 3.5 hours left on that. If we can close above this line and start to work our way up, that'll be a good indicator for a potential bullish reversal. And a lot of this is kind of riding off of the B word conference that happened yesterday with Musk, Dorsey, and Cathie Wood, and that you can see by this daily candle. So we'll see what happens here in the coming hours. But another thing to look at, which is key, if this candle is able to close above this resistance line here, then you can see here on our RSI, we have broken this long outstanding resistance line here. We're just barely out of it. So if I zoom in, you can see we're just barely above it. But if we can break this, hold it, and then test it back for support and bounce, that is a great sign for a potential rise to the upside. I don't know what the target necessarily would be. I know people will say, you kind of measure the let's see here, you draw like a line. Hold on just a second here. Let's go into the settings. So, you kind of measure from break to break, which is approximately that. If you break it, and you're seeing a potential strong upside here to around the 40K mark. It'll, that is where your potential target is. It's going to be if we break back through these zones, get above this green line, get above this this potential support or this previous support zone, then we will be tackling here this this resistance zone. And like I said, we still got a long ways to go in terms of getting to that. It's not like once we break that, we're going to reach this in a day. It could be, weeks before we actually get up here because we still have to fight these moving averages and we still have to fight all these other resistance lines. But if we do break that, that is our target to start building back up. And then hopefully you can start seeing some more bullish sentiment, the bulls starting to come in and the bears starting to back off, and we could see the potential to a new all-time high. So that's kind of just the update on Bitcoin. We'll see where we close here. If we stay within this wedge pattern, then I would expect the price to drop back down and probably come back down towards our wedge support, which will be around 29K or so. So we'll see. We're kind of still sitting in here. But yeah, things are looking decent. Things are looking decent right now. So yeah, if you found this video insightful, educating, please like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be sure to keep hitting you guys with updates on the price and help you to navigate through the crypto markets. Thank you for watching, and y'all take it easy.